So for anybody who is watching, we are just working out technology. Heather and I are going live to talk about a little Texas to Colorado connection. And I will let Heather introduce us beyond that, but please, just bear with us while we get technology.
Yeah, no, okay. Well, it always, takes a few minutes to get things up and running, especially when you're doing it the first time. So if you just sat through my technical difficulties, thank you very much for staying on. But no, I'm Heather.Guild. I'm here with Betsy from Breckenridge. She's a Compass agent out of Colorado. And we met and became instant friends at the Austin retreat. Gosh, was that back in November already?
I know, time's crazy.
It's crazy. It's flying and going low at the same time. But yeah, I think we had known each other 2 hours and you were like, come to stay in Breckenridge at my house.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's great. But like every person in Dallas, we dream about cooler weather in the summer, and my family's favorite place of all time is Breckenridge. So I was so excited to get to meet you and bend your ear about all of my questions. And so, you and I got to talking and we're like, if I have these questions being in real estate, I bet a lot of other people in Dallas have them too. And so you were kind enough to say, well, let's just get online and we'll answer all your questions, not only for me, but everybody else who wants to know. So I really appreciate that.
Absolutely. I mean, I will talk about Breckenridge and real estate all day long. So I'm happy that we're able to, to share this, because honestly, it means that we can tell more people, and they can listen, at their leisure versus just me rambling whenever I meet them in person.
You probably talk a lot of real estate at cocktail parties like I do.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like
fun though.
Yeah, but I like to talk about it, so it works out.
Yeah,
but why don't we go over sort of what you and I have talked about,
yeah,
some of the
that'd
questions
be great.
that you had and what we're going to have in the email series.
That'd be great. So yeah, I mean, you and I talk, we are both very super analytical people. And so this is just sort of a high level discussion, but what we're going to do is then break down some more specifics in an email campaign. So if you're watching and you really want to know more details about these topics, let us know, DM us, and we'll get you on the email list for those. But, first and foremost, the question is, what can I buy with my budget, right? So I think the very first thing we're going to talk about in our series is, one, why is Breckenridge so great? And we could talk about that for days. But then two, based on different budgets, what's really reasonable?
Right. Yeah. Sort of what, I mean, I think setting expectations, right, regardless of where you're buying real estate. I think the probably one of the hardest parts, right, about buying real estate is having unrealistic expectations for what you can get and then being disappointed. So in the email series, we want to really clearly state that out of the gate, what $500,000 can get you, what $1 million can get you, because our price points are higher here because it is so desirable and everybody wants to be here. So that's what's going to be in our first email. And some of it's just like fun, right? Some of it's fun to look at the crazy expensive mountain homes and dream. And then we'll have
the win the lottery mountain homes.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but we'll also have stuff that's more sort of approachable. And then the other thing that we'll talk about is short-term rentals, which I know you and I chatted about a bit, because that's the other thing that can make owning the property a little bit more affordable.
Right. Yeah. When you and I were talking, you said one of the first things you ask all your clients is, do you want to cash flow this? Do you plan to use it as an Airbnb or a VRBO? And you're really well versed in what the rules are on that. So I think that's great because, again, going back to unrealistic expectations, if you buy something thinking I'm going to have this leased out 40 weeks out of the year, you're probably not going into it with the right parameters.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and the truth is that, like, your lender, because we'll also go over financing in these emails, your lender's not going to let you buy a place that you can't afford. They don't let you count short-term rental potential income towards it. So you're not going to be able to buy a place that you can't afford, but it's more how much you want to want it to cash flow for your comfort level. So we'll have a whole email on unexpected cash flows and profitability, and then another whole email on rules, because we've had so many new rules both in Breckenridge and in the county as a whole go in place. And like you said, that really needs to be done in an email, because it's a little chunk. that has some variables. It's not like, it is not that you cannot do it. It just is like, well, if you live here and you live in this type of property, there's just like a bunch of variables. So that'll all be gone over in one of our emails as well.
Right. Well, and I think that's the beauty, whether it's Breckenridge or Dallas or Florida or wherever you're going to be, the nice thing about being with Compass is there is this nationwide work where you can find somebody who's really knowledgeable about the niche pocket that you're looking in. Because you were telling me even on 2 or 3 streets in Breckenridge, there are different rules than outside of those streets. And so just having that insider knowledge is really important.
And so like a lot of what we'll go over in these emails it's specific to Breckenridge, but can apply to other vacation markets and other mountain markets. So if you're interested in a different mountain market, because we have people oftentimes looking in multiple mountain markets at a time, I can also connect you to someone in one of those other mountain markets, which will have similar sort of short-term rental rules, similar, but different. The financing is going to be the same. So a lot of what we go over in the emails would be applicable, whether you're buying here in Breckenridge or another vacation market. So don't feel like just because you don't want Breckenridge specifically, that it's not worth following along as we go through all this.
Absolutely. Well, and I appreciate this because I think, I'm a newbie to the investment home market, and I just dream about it. So I love that you're going to sort of help walk us through this. And I'm just going to ask the silly questions that I have, because I assume if I have them being in the business, that people not in the business have them as well.
Absolutely. So, and then I think the one thing that we haven't mentioned is that we will, with these emails that we send out, we'll also do a live each week. So if you are watching this now or you're watching the recording, we'll let you know when that's going to happen. And if you have specific questions, either message them to one of us or you can put them in the comments of wherever you see this posted, and we'll do our best to answer them on our next live.
Yeah, I love that. I would love to see everybody's questions. So
awesome.
That'll be fun.
Cool. Do we want to tell people when we think the next live will be?
Yeah, I think we were thinking about early next week. Is that what we said?
Early next week. I think Tuesday around noon on in Central Time, your time.
What is that? Let's see. Next Tuesday, that'll be the 8th. Is that right? The 9th. The 8th. Yeah. So we'll say noon Central Standard Time on Tuesday, the 8th. That sounds good. I think we're about to get ourselves a little snow here in Dallas. So I'm anticipating the rest of this week might be, work from home snow day. So we'll get together and put those emails out, and then we'll come back on Tuesday and chat about places with real snow.
Okay. Yeah. Because I was going to say we have snow coming, but we're happy when snow comes.
That's right. We're just crossing our fingers for a snow day from school around here. So.
We don't get those.
Yeah.
Awesome.
No.
Okay.
Well, thanks so much, Betsy, and we'll chat next Tuesday.
Okay. Great. Sounds good.